Hi Taurus, welcome to your reading. This is a reading for January 8th to the 14th, the second week of January. If you haven't already checked out your monthly reading, you can do that as well. I uploaded those at the end of December. And also I ask you to please subscribe to the channel, and that's it. So, I'm going to start with showing you what's at the bottom of the deck. By the way, I am using the Colette Baron Reed, the Good Tarot. And then I pulled one card from the Medicine Woman Tarot to kind of clarify the reading and perhaps just give further advice. And then at the end, I'm going to pull an Oracle card, and that'll be it. So, at the bottom of the deck, we have the Nine of Earth. And this is the overall energy of the reading. This card is saying that, to me, this card represents Taurians in a general sense, because it's a card of self-discipline, of self-reliance, and of, you know, feeling okay and comfortable in the material realm, and also having and knowing that the resources are available to you. And I don't know, this card just reminds me of Taurus. Now, the overall energy of your reading is, well, that was this is what's crowning your reading, is the Five of Air. And this is a card of tension and conflict. So there's probably something going on that you're not too happy with. Maybe it's other people that you feel, you know, you're not in agreement with at this time. Maybe there's just a situation in your life that you're not exactly happy with. So basically, we're looking at some tension and conflict for Taurus, and I'm sorry about that. I wish I could always have a happy, positive reading, but honestly, the Aries reading wasn't all that wonderful either, so don't feel bad. So your present situation is the Judgment card, and in this deck, it's Call. And what it's talking about is hearing the call, whether that is of your true purpose or your purpose in a particular situation. Just heeding what it is that your spirit is trying to tell you. There's something that your spirit is trying to get your attention about, and it's time for you to heed this call. And it seems to me like perhaps you're kind of sad about this, because you have, crossing that is the Five of Cups, the Five of Water. This, to me, is a card of sadness, of knowing that you have things that you're going to have to leave behind. Perhaps, you know, looking at things as though the glass is half empty, and maybe feeling like that as well. Perhaps with these two cards together, maybe you're not happy about some kind of a judgment or decision that's going on in your life right now. Or maybe you feel overwhelmed by what you feel called to do. That's also a possibility. Now, in the hopes and fears position, we have the Eight of Fire, which is the Eight of Wands. And this card talks about swift movement, gaining momentum, something that's, you know, like it's basically about movement. Something is either, you know, moving toward you, and I think it's something that is moving toward you. It could be something moving away from you, perhaps the things that you need to leave behind. Or this could also be you moving toward something. It's a pretty optimistic card. Of course, it is also going to be affected by the cards around it. So perhaps there's some conflict that you know what this conflict is. Some kind of tension or conflict. Perhaps you already know what that is. Perhaps that's what's moving toward you. Or perhaps you're in the midst of it now. Or this could be coming into your life in the second week of January. Now again, these readings they're not contained to just that week. Energy is fluid. So even though I do ask for messages that will help you for that particular week. So in the foundation card, we have the Eight of Earth. And this card talks about, well, it's the Eight of Pentacles in the traditional tarot, and generally we see a figure working on creating pentacles. And it's also known as the Apprentice card. It's a card about, even if you don't have to be new at your craft. You could be somebody who's been doing it for a long time, but perhaps you're learning new things, or you're learning new ways. And of course, it could also be that perhaps you're taking on it, learning something new in your life. It doesn't have to be the actual work that you do as your job. It could be other projects that you're working on, that perhaps you're new at something. Maybe it has something to do with feeling called by your spirit to do something, and it could be work that you are trying to figure out, or learning something new. Basically, it's a card of work, of hard work, getting the job done. And that goes into the foundation of your reading, which is also things that could be holding you back, as well as sort of like what you're building upon. So whatever that means to you. Now, in the recent past, of course, we have the Ten of Water. So, in the recent past, perhaps you were feeling like everything was fine, and then all of a sudden, some conflict came in and caused some havoc in your life. So, this is a card of general well-being, of feeling like everything is fine and happy, and you don't have to worry about too much, and you feel pretty content with yourself. And of course, this state is always reachable. Regardless of what's going on around you, you can always be in this state. It's just a matter of, for Taurus, it's not that easy. And I know, because I have a Taurus moon. We need a certain level of material, it's not like we have to be rich, but we have to have, like, at least our basic needs met, plus some, for Taurians to really feel this sense of peace and serenity. So maybe there's something, whatever it is, it's throwing you, whatever's going on is either going to throw you out of this happy balance, or it already has. And the outcome card, we have the Tower. And this card talks about surprises, upheaval, change. It also talks about things happening fast. So with that also being in your present situation, perhaps something is going to be changing in your life pretty quickly. And maybe you're not that happy about it. It could be a change that has to do with work, family, perhaps even something internal. It really depends on your situation. Let me just look at this. It could be that there's something going on with your work, though. I am feeling this, like, perhaps you're being, like, judged or called upon at work for some situation, and it's creating conflict for you. And whatever it is coming in pretty quickly, and I think it's going to take you by surprise. It's going to kind of, like, shock you out of your complacency. It's going to throw you for a loop. And it's probably not going to be that easy to deal with, but don't forget that you have the Nine of Earth here as your overall energy. So you are this. You are always capable of getting yourself through any difficult changes, because you are this. You are reliable. You have the tools that you need to get through this. And sometimes change, and especially for Taurus, you're a fixed sign. Change can sometimes be a bit more hard to handle for a fixed sign. And maybe it's not as bad as it might seem at first. Because underneath the Nine of Earth, we have the Queen of Fire. So you know, we also have, like, this could be someone that you're possibly having to deal with. This is the Queen of Wands, could be an Aries, Leo, or Sagittarius, or those energies. But I like to think of it, this is an aspect of you that you can rely upon as being bold and a leader, and knowing that you can take on these difficult things that are about to, you know, come into your world. Or perhaps you already know what this situation is, but you do have the resources to get through this, and you have the motivation and the will, the sheer willpower to move through this, okay? So on a more positive note, we do have the Three of Pipes here from the Medicine Woman Tarot deck. And that's also the Three of Wands. And what we see is this woman here. She's stepping through this gateway of sorts. So perhaps these things that have happened or are about to happen, these conflicts and this, you know, taking you by surprise, this upheaval in some aspect of your life, what it's doing is it's just opening up something for you to be able to walk through. So let's see what the book has to say about this card. The Three of Pipes, dream, envision, and wander. So it's asking you to dream and to...
Jen?
Oh my gosh, hold on a second. I'm sorry about that. I was interrupted. Okay. So it's asking you to, you know, rather than, perhaps it's trying to just, this is like a card of giving you hope here. Okay, for whatever this situation is, just know that, of course, I'm not telling you that whatever it is that you shouldn't let yourself feel the emotions that come with it. But that, unfortunately, we have to go through things that suck. That suck. I know, because I've been through a lot of sucky things in my life as well. And I still go through them, because we all do. We all have our crosses to bear and our burdens to bear. But of course, you always need to have some hope. So, no matter how hopeless of a situation you might feel that you're in, just know that only you can control the way you think about this situation. And the way you choose to think about it is going to help create the reality that you see in the future. So let's read this. Guiding ones who come to me in spirit, I am thankful for your presence. Help me now to see that which I can use to accomplish Great Spirit's work here within Mother Earth's embrace. I am thankful for my gifts. Okay, I'm thankful for my gifts, my talents, and my resources. Help me to use them well and wisely. I am ready now to energize the talent needed to achieve Creator's wish. I am open to inspiring dreams and vision. I wander in your hope-filled land. Yes, so see, it is a card of hope. It is time to await opportunity expectantly or to wander seeking pieces of the dream. You are probably engaged in fantasy and longing during this period. You may even feel a craving for something you cannot quite define. There may be periods of melancholy due to the sense of uncertainty in your life right now. Flow with them. Watch them pass. You will reach fulfillment on the path Creator has laid before you. Trust enough to take the first step. Let yourself be guided by dreams and visions. Look for signs. Trust your inner response. Follow that which calls you at the deepest level. Respond to that which creates all-engrossing enthusiasm. Let the universe lead. So, and there we go. That totally also goes with this call. You know, maybe these things need to be happening in your life because you're really being asked to step into, literally step into a greater role for yourself, a bigger opportunity. Even if, you know, maybe you're just sad about leaving things behind. Maybe you're changing jobs, and maybe this is something that you thought you wanted. Maybe it's something you thought you wanted, but then when it happens, sometimes we think, oh, shoot, maybe I didn't really want this. But it's already here. It's coming. So you have to step into, you see how she is literally stepping into a new, so it's about stepping into something new. And of course, when we have to create change, or when changes happen in our life, there's always a bittersweet element to it. And also, I mean, this is in the recent past, but the card is still here in your reading, so it's still a part of you. It's still here with you. And you're not, you know, just because you feel like this, it's only temporary. It's only temporary. Okay, is a 5. 5s are a card of change. 10 is, you know, you were coming to a completion. That you in your recent past, perhaps you've reached to a level that you can only go so far, and you can't keep going on that same path. It has to come to a completion. And no matter how comfortable you might be, especially for Taurus, because you like to be comfortable, you don't really want that change, you like to have that security, but unfortunately these things will happen and they force you to grow and to change. But know that it is for your highest good, and it's basically you stepping into something better and new for yourself, okay? So let's pull one oracle from the Wisdom of the Avalon. This is also a deck by Colette Baron-Reid. Please give me one card to help for Taurus. For Taurus for the second week of January. Please bring us one card for Taurus, Taurus, Taurus. Taurus, 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 Taurus. Oh, there it is. Oh, okay. Well, there we go. We got the burden card. Yeah, so you're definitely feeling burdened, and I could see that. You're feeling burdened by this, and it's totally normal. So let's see what this says. Burden. What burdens are you carrying on this part of the journey? Are you transporting those of others out of generosity or codependence? Is this burden so heavy that it slows you down? This marker asks you to stop and look at your responsibilities, your commitments, and all that you bring with you on your journey. Are you clinging to an unhealthy relationship out of fear? Are you taking on the burden of others to prevent them from getting hurt? Do you know that this enables others to avoid learning their life lessons and doesn't really help at all? Drawing this marker encourages you to release others to their own path. It may also be a time for you to ask if you're helping because you like being needed. If the answer is yes, then the message is truly to let go of this burden, for it's born of self-centeredness. Release the burden of others to the divine. They also have their own guides just as you do. Trust in the divine plan. So basically this card just goes on to say that, you know, you do have all the tools that you need and it's basically like similar to this card in that it's asking you to chart a new course, and you're going to have to leave things behind. And this is a card of leaving things behind. And often with the 5 of Cups in the traditional tarot, we see a figure standing looking at the cups that fell, and there are 2 cups filled behind the person. So know that you're going to have to let those cups spill and move on, and know that there's more cups out there for you. And I'm going to pull one more card. Just please bring us a positive healing. Something positive here for my Taurus friends out there. Please bring us a positive message for my Taurus friends out there. Something to give them, something to look forward to a little bit more other than all these burdens. Taurus for the second week of January. For Taurus. 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 Maybe a card doesn't want to come. Let's see. It's not coming. Taurus. Do you have any other messages for Taurus for us? Taurus. Taurus. Okay. The Wind Fairy. Thoughts, words, intellectual analysis. So I guess, you know, let's leave it at this. It's just remember that your perception about this situation, your thoughts, your words, your analysis of this situation is going to have an effect. And that you are crossing into something new in your life. And that's always a hopeful thing. And that this will soon be, the past will be behind you. And if you have reached this state before, you will be able to get there again. Okay? So, thank you, Taurus, for being here with me. I appreciate your company. And I do hope that this reading has brought you some kind of healing or hope or insight into your life. And have a wonderful week. Thank you. And please don't forget to subscribe. And if this video helped you in some way, please give it a thumbs up. Thanks. Take care. Bye-bye.